Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to film for you my bi-weekly makeup basket to begin on the 30th of January, and that will go all the way through roughly Valentine's Day or so. And then I will be filming my 14 by February 14th finale, and you guys can see how well I did on those products. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this video. If you haven't seen any of my bi-weekly makeup baskets before, I will post a playlist down below. And also I wanted to try and do something a little bit different. I don't know if I'll do it at the end of this video or if I will film a separate video, but because I've been pulling things into my baskets and I've got year-long projects going on and a 5 by Cinco de Mayo, I've pretty much been using a lot of the same products that are in projects, and anything else that I pull in is just to kind of play around with. So pretty much my favorites have already been shown to you. So I wanted to do a recap of my bi-weekly makeup baskets and some of the things that I've been loving through those baskets, and I wanted to kind of do it as a favorites recap video, and if I have time I'll do it at the end of this video. So in interest of saving time, we'll go ahead and get into this with the I'm just going to kind of go through what I'm using on my face and let you know whether it's new or whether I'm pulling it out or what the deal is. So on my last bi-weekly makeup basket, I'm not sure if I showed my primer, but at that time I was using my Too Faced Primed and Poreless. I am not using that. I am using my Almay Smart Shade Perfect and Correct primer, and this is a swirled product, so it kind of comes out a little green and a little purple, and I really have enjoyed using this. I've only used a little bit of it so far, so it's working out really nice as a primer. The foundations that I've been using this last basket, I switched over to my Armani Luminous Silk foundation, and as you can see I'm using quite a bit of that up. This is in my 5 by Cinco de Mayo, and also I've been focusing on using my Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation in 805, and this also is in my 5 by Cinco de Mayo and going really well as well. And so with regards to blushes and bronzers and highlighters, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm pulling out. The products that are in my projects, my 17 by the end of 2017 and my 2016 makeup use-up goals, are going to stay the same as far as which ones I'm focusing on. I only have one bronzer, I only have one cream highlighter, and one powder highlighter that I'm working on right now, and those are going to stay the same. But I did pull in some blushes last basket that I wanted to kind of test out and see how I felt about them, and I had one in a palette that I had been kind of using here and there when I wanted to kind of fill in, and I'm going to show you the ones that I'm pulling out now. The one that I'm going to actually keep in, just because it's a good staple, is in the Tarte Bling It On palette, and I like to have this for days when I don't feel like using the one that's in my project. Sorry if I'm blinding you. This is the color in Prim, and I will go ahead and give you a swatch of Prim. That's what Prim looks like. It's a nice peachy nude that I feel like I could pair with anything if I don't feel like any of the blushes that I'm using in my projects are a good fit for that makeup look. And the next three blushes that I pulled in at the last makeup basket were my Sonia Kashuk color in Sunset, and this is the color Sunset. And part of my intention in picking products for these baskets going forward is actually helping me declutter what I have in my stash and using some of the things that I haven't used in a long time or used at all, and deciding what I want to get rid of by using them rather than looking at them and saying, nah, you know. But I might do that with some products, but there are some that I really want to try out and see if I want to keep them in my collection. The next is a NYX Baked Blush in the color Full On Femme, number BBL01. And this is like a nice baby pink color. I compared this to a color, see how light that is, but I really do like it on my cheeks. It's got a nice sheen. And I compared this to a color by MAC called, can't think of it right now. Just a Wisp. It's one of their mineralized blushes, so I felt like it was very similar to this. It is much lighter than this, so I am going to test this against a couple of other things and decide whether I want to keep it in my collection. So this is kind of an on the fence product for me right now. The next blush is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the color Cruel Intentions. And that's what that looks like. And so this is like a cream blush, so I really feel like I need to try to get some, you know, decent wear out of this. It's right there on my wrist there. Beautiful color. It's like a mix between a mauve and a berry, and it's really, really pretty. But I am going to take that out as well. And to replace that, I'm going to pull in two blushes that I want to kind of test the waters with, and one that I just really want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is the CoverGirl Cheekers blush in the color True Plum. And you can see how that's all like rutted up and stuff in there. What I had to do, this wasn't giving me any color payoff whatsoever when I took it out to swatch it, and it had developed hard pan, and I had only used it once and it sat in my collection. So powder products can kind of not go bad, but they can develop hard pan when they're sitting in your collection. So I recommend using your products as much as possible. So I was able to get the hard pan off, and but see, that's so light, and I'm not sure if that is just because there's more hard pan or what, but it seems like it's developing hard pan again. So I may have to scrape it off again, and this may be one that I just go ahead and get rid of, but we'll see how I do with that. Sometimes it looks different on the cheeks too. So the next product is this CoverGirl blush in the color Pretty Peach, and you can see this is in their old packaging. Again, this is another one that develops some hard pan, but I'm still getting some good color payoff off of this one. And then I'm going to be trying to, from memory, think of some dupes for some of these as I'm wearing them, and kind of compare them against that if I have them in my collection, and then decide which one I like more, and then go ahead and get rid of them. The blush that I just want to use is the Benefit Rockateur blush. I've been seeing this kind of pop up all over YouTube again, in people's like yearly favorites and stuff. It's just such a nice peachy sheen here. So I'm really excited to use that one. I am going to take out my Anastasia Beverly Hills Self-Made palette. I've shown this to you guys before. This is what the palette looks like. I did not use this once in the last 2 weeks, so that says to me that I've got a little bit more going on in the other products that I've pulled, and I really started trying to focus on my Pan That Palette eyeshadows towards the end of this last 2 weeks, so I really kind of neglected the palettes that I had pulled. I did get some use out of the single stuff that I pulled earlier on in the 2 weeks, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through those products. The palette that I'm going to keep in my basket this week is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I got a really nice look out of Candied Violet that Stephanie from the Daisy Girly had done a tutorial on. Really, really simple eye look with that color. The trick to that color is really about wetting it when you put it on your eye. Otherwise, you're going to get like a smoky, dark, kind of grayish purple that you really can't differentiate as a purple. So I got that look, and also her smoked out look that she did as well. She's got tutorials up on her channel, and I will go ahead and link her below. But this is what the palette looks like. This is the old one that has the insert. I don't even think the second one they came out with had them on the thing, but the semi-sweet palette they did. This is still the thick palette, so I'm not sure if, but anyways, it's got the little card here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that in my basket. So last week I pulled some single shadows and a small little palette, and the first shadow that I pulled is this NYX color in Vesper. I did swatch this in my last bi-weekly makeup basket, so if you want to see that, go ahead and go back and look at that. This I absolutely loved as a one shadow look. I would pack this all over the lid on top of a mauve brownish kind of base, the rosy taupe that I have from Mally, and then I would just smoke this out into the crease and put a brow bone shade, and it was just beautiful. I wanted to wear this for days. I had to force myself to not wear it, but I did wear it a couple days in a row. The next shadow I had is the Ulta shadow in the color Twilight. I pretty much did the same thing with this, and then I had another look that I was doing where I would put this on the outer corner, and I would have a lighter shade on my inner corner, and or my inner part of my eye, and I can't remember what I was doing now. I really hate that when I find a look and I can't remember what I was doing with it, but I'm going to find it again. I am going to take this out of my basket for now, but this was a really beautiful color, and it's going to stay in my collection. The next shadow is the Ulta shadow in the color Sunkissed. I don't know if I turned the other one around, but it was Twilight. In the color Sunkissed, I'm going to go ahead and swatch this, and the reason for this is I really enjoyed this color, but I am going to give this color away. And the reason for that is that I feel like it's very similar to the MAC shade in Expensive Pink, and I think I mentioned that, and I did want to test it out next to it. They are not an exact dupe, but this is the Expensive Pink, and this is the Ulta shadow, and as you can see, the Expensive Pink, they have that same kind of shift, and they have that same kind of sheen, and the Expensive Pink is more pigmented with that sheen, so it's a lot prettier to me, and I'm going to go ahead and get that Ulta shadow in Sunkissed out of my collection. The next thing that I pulled for eyes is the All About Sweets 6-pan palette. And I tried a couple of these. I really enjoy this shade Swatch, so I want to get some use out of it. I did use this on the lid on top of my rosy taupe base. It's really not any more special than any other kind of like a champagne shade. This peachy shade kind of blends out to nothing. You can't even tell it has a peach color to it, but I do really love this shade all over the lid and as a highlight, this pinky highlight right here. So I think for now I'm going to hang on to this in my collection. As far as eyes go, I am now using my Urban Decay little mini primer potion, and I have a little bit left of this, and I'll be moving on to another. I am using the Jordana 12-Hour Made to Last eyeshadow pencil over top of that, and then any other kind of colored base that I'm using on my lid. Right now I'm using the Rosy Taupe from Mally, and I've been focusing on my Lash Sensational by Maybelline. Love this for the top lashes. And in the last 2 weeks, I have started using this Giorgio Armani Black Ecstasy. I've been mixing that with the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I like this on my bottom lashes, but I've noticed that it does start to transfer and flake. It wasn't doing that for me at first, but I do think it depends on how well my under eyes are powdered. If they're kind of emollient or oily towards the end of the day, that's when I notice that I get that transfer. But I've been using that. And then, because I've seen so many other people start posting about it, I've seen it all over YouTube, and then recently I feel like a lot more people have been talking about it in their favorites from 2015. This is the MAC Extended Play Gigablack Lash, and this is in the Riri Hearts MAC packaging, and I've been using this on my lower lash line. I do have this on my lower lash line today. I absolutely love this mascara on the lower lash line, so I've been enjoying that. I've been using my Juice Beauty Hydrating Mist, little sneak peek there, as a setting spray. It's not really that. It's not supposed to be that, but I've just been using it because I don't have a setting spray right now. So I've been doing that to get rid of it, and also to justify purchasing another setting spray because I have this spray still in my collection. So lastly, I'm going to go on to lips because everything else is brand spanking new that I'm going to put into this basket. So I just wanted to share what I plan for my lip combo for the next 2 weeks. I'll mix some other stuff in, but I plan on using my JLo's Collection Privé Nude, my Makeup Forever liner in the color 3C, and my MAC lip gloss in the color See-Thru. And so these are the three that I'm going to be focusing on. This is what I'm wearing today, except for the JLo's Nude. I'm just wearing the 3C and the See-Thru glass. So I'm going to use these kind of in different combinations and kind of find what I really like, but I am enjoying this lip. Everything else from here out is brand new that I'm putting into my basket. So I'm going to, pretty much everything is eyes except for one product. So I'm going to go ahead and show my one product. And so what I want to do is use the blush from the Tarteist Contour Palette. This blush right here. So I want to use that and see how I enjoy that on my cheeks. So that is number one. Probably at least a month ago now, my friend Abby here on YouTube posted a Abstract Abby where she sits down and does just a makeup look with whatever makeup she wants to use. She has no agenda. She doesn't know what she's going to do. She just throws it together. And two of the products that she used in that most recent Abstract Abby, I think it was, is the Wet n Wild palette in the color Temporary Solutions. And she used this pink color right here. And she also used the MAC pigment in the color Tan. Be able to see that or not. Okay, so I'm going to pull these two in to use for that look. I want to say there was more to that look than just these two colors, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. So I just remember these two, and I was going through and doing my makeup inventory, and I found these two, and so I just went ahead and pulled these in. Sidebar, I don't know how I'm going to do my makeup inventory because I film on my computer, so I can't show you guys things as I'm going through them and decluttering, and I'm kind of doing it like behind the scenes and decluttering and kind of setting those things aside. So if you guys have any suggestions of how to do it, like I said, I film on my MacBook, so I can't, you know, like hold the camera or anything. My iPhone is like full as far as memory. It's not going to take a video long enough. I do have some other phones that I could use that like our old phones and stuff, but I feel like the quality of the video won't be good enough. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. I don't know if I'm just going to show you the things I'm decluttering, but then you can't see the things that are in my collection. So I don't know how to do that, because I know I've had some requests for declutter and makeup collection videos. So we'll figure that out maybe together. The next things for eyes that I want to go ahead and pull in, and these kind of also resulted from doing declutters and things like that, but this is my Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour in the color 115 Shimmering C. And this is actually a exact dupe for the color in what's the one that Cherish was panning? God, I can't think of it. I'll put it right here. So I wanted to use that. I'm really interested in using that. And the next thing I'm going to pull is this Too Faced Glamour Dust in the color Nude Beam. And I'm going to try and show you this, but this is like really, really loose. Okay. And I wanted to do a look that kind of really glitzes up my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, so that's why I'm pulling that. And the next thing, because I saw somebody pulling their Illusion d'Ombre from Chanel, and it wasn't this particular one, but it reminded me to pull this out. This is this Chanel Illusion d'Ombre in 97 New Moon, and this was the limited edition one that everybody was kind of going nuts for. So I'm going to try and go ahead and give you a swatch of this Shimmering C. So there's those two, kind of silly to swatch next to each other. And the last few things I pulled are liner type products. One of the things, because I have so many black and brown liners, one of the things that I want to do is, even though I'm focusing on a couple of liners for my 2016 makeup use up, I want to try and start pulling some random black liners into my baskets just to test out, and then that way I could see whether I like them or not over, you know, a good number of uses, and use them a couple different ways and then toss them at the end of that basket if they're not going to be a go for me. So one of those is this. I actually thought this was a Starlooks, and I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this because everybody really likes these products. But this is the Starlit Black, the Total Absence of Light liner. And this, on first, I've used this some. I don't remember what I liked, you know, what I felt about it. But this is not very black. It's kind of, you know, not very pigmented, and it's kind of see-through. So we'll see how the staying power is on the waterline, because I really don't use pencil liners on the upper lash line too much. So we'll see how this one goes. Some other colors that I kind of just wanted to play around with is just some jewel tone purples, and I wanted to use this Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips Custom Eye Enhancing Kohl Kajal eyeliner, because I haven't really explored this type of formula. So it comes like this, and I've had other people, or seen other people say in the past, that it gets kind of concerning when it gets down a little bit lower because it's really thick. But I think this is supposed to be used as more of like a smoking type product, not like a precise. It's a really nice purple color, so I'm really excited to use that. And this next one is the NYX Slide On. These long ones. Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and Definitely a Turn On Waterproof Extreme Shine eyeliner in the color Jewel. And I know that Betsy from Make Up Your Mind has been using this one recently, but I really like this color. It's got a really nice shimmer in it that you can't see, but this is like a maroonish kind of plum color. And then the last thing that I wanted to pull is this NYX Crystal Pewter crystal liner, and this is a really pretty color. And so it's got some really nice glitzy glamour to it. So I'm really excited to use that. So that is it for my bi-weekly makeup basket. This is going to be like a 20-minute video already. So I'm going to go ahead and not film my favorites part of this video, but I will go ahead and film that separately, and we'll do a recap of my basket. That'll be a fairly short video, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.